I had painted these in another video, but I did not talk about it too much. They are painted in Zero Paint's textured paint. And I had masked off the back for two reasons. One being that I know I'm going to cover this in a Kevlar decal, and I wanted the decal to lay smooth, so I did not want that texture below. The second reason being I now have a template for the Kevlar decal. I had originally tried to put that up in the corner to save as much material as possible, but then I remembered this has a pattern, and I want that to be symmetrical to the other side. And I do apologize for the Ladas being out of frame. With the newer, larger cutting mat in the background, it's kind of hard to tell where my field of view is. I did not film me laying down this decal because it was incredibly difficult. It required me to constantly run it up and down stairs to get the blow dryer. It required a lot of heat to lay down smooth, and I did not want to drag all the recording equipment with me. It had eventually broke and I kind of had to piece it together. It's fine though, because the visible bits are still intact. This material was not easy to work with, and I will never use it again. The seat back is much similar to the rest of the interior. Depending on what year it was made, it was either carbon fiber, Kevlar like I have here, or another composite type of fiberglass that was also incredibly light. Since I did not film the Kevlar process on the back of the seat, I decided that I will, however, show you the carbon decal that I use for the door cards. This is made by Zoomon Model, and it is hands down the best decal that you will ever work with. I highly recommend them. I will be doing all of this just with one bottle of microsol, a paintbrush, and my hand. no heat at all will be required. That is how good this stuff is. You can still use heat though for the more complex shapes. This is mostly flat, so I did not need it. For example, I did the entire dashboard on Tamiya's F40 GT with just one single sheet, and it needed a lot of heat. Prep work also helped when working with this stuff. If you know it's going to be a complex bend, like the corners for instance, just put a little slit or a dart there is what they call them, just to help it bend. And I am constantly keeping this wet. I do not want my fingers to stick to it at any point and lift it up. Now to cut out these vent things, whatever these are, I'm just doing a little bitty tiny slit in each of the four corners and then just cutting it directly across. And just like everything else in life, you're going to want a good sharp blade to do this. The last thing you want is for that to catch and just pull that decal up, because it will happen if you use a dull blade. I am also keeping the decal very wet here when I do this, just to help lubricate that blade. I believe you got the idea how this works, so we're going to move on. For the vents on the dashboard, I'm using an old leather hole punching tool. It's approximately the same size, so I'm just going to make myself a little template. I got a strip of tape just on something sturdy, allows me to turn it like that to get a good clean cut. Then I'll peel it off and put it on the dashboard. And I had forgot I painted those switches just 2 minutes ago and stuck my thumb in them. It's a good thing that paint was already dry. For the ignition cylinder, I'm just using the good old-fashioned Molitor chrome pin. And I was oddly surprised that Tamiya did not give us decals for the gauge pod down below, those 3 gauges below the dash. Fujimi gave us decals for their kit. This is my cat Gravy. She likes to bother me. For the steering wheel or any component actually that needs a little bit of positioning after being installed, I like to not use super glue for that stuff. The decal kit gave us an insert that goes in the steering wheel. It's going to be painted black anyway, and it looks exactly the same. I don't know why they gave us that. And speaking of not using any parts from that kit, I'm also not going to be using the pedals. I did that on my F40 build, and you cannot see them. Even on a convertible, you cannot see them. So I am not going to waste my time to do something that's not going to be visible. Here's a fun fact about the transmission. It uses a dog leg shifter. That basically puts second and third in a straight line, because on the racetrack you will be spending almost all of your time rowing between second and third. So might as well make it a nice straight shift just to make it easier. To save weight, the real car did not have door handles. Instead, they just gave us this cord to pull to disengage the locks. I am replicating that with just some 30 gauge wire. Now we just glue it all in. And that will complete the interior and this video. Thank you for watching.